UFC analyst Chael Sonnen. Now, Chael, look, in boxing, in MMA, you always hear about the war words, and you never really know if it's real. So for the casual fight fan, how real is the bad blood between Masvidal and Usman?
These two are not manufacturing anything. I mean, don't forget, these are two top guys in the world. You got the #1 contender in Masvidal. You've got the undisputed champion in Usman. They have alike dreams in the same weight class of combat sport. And should I mention, geographically, they only live 40 miles from each other. There's something about protecting your home turf, in all fairness.
I love that, right? I mean, if you can't protect your own home turf, what can you do? Now, I got to ask you, what's the impact on Masvidal from taking on this fight on only 6 days' notice?
Okay, so this is very on brand for Jorge Masvidal. I mean, this guy likes to go out and compete. His first fight that he ever had took place in a backyard in Florida when he was 19 years old, caught on somebody's camcorder, and lives today on YouTube. I'm not proud of that type stuff, but he was eating his lunch when he got the phone call, was paid $50 to do it, put the burger down, and went and did the fight. So this is very much in his wheelhouse. And if I could remind you, Jorge Masvidal for 3 months was scheduled to fight Kamaru Usman on July 11th. 30 days ago, that fight was interrupted. Gilbert Burns was put in. So Masvidal had about 4 weeks of a bit of a limbo, if you will, but he knew for a period of time that this was going to happen.
So that's key, because in some ways he was already ready for this to happen, and so now he might come in ready. So who wins this fight and why?
All right, here's the problem. Usman is just a superior athlete, and I don't mean just to Masvidal. I mean to the human race. Usman is the first fighter that you could ever compare to Georges St. Pierre and not look foolish doing it. Now, you might still lose that argument, but that's how good this guy is. He might be the next best thing to the greatest to have ever done it in GSP.
All right, I got to ask you about the co-main event, by the way. Max Holloway, he looks to avenge that loss against Alexander Volkanovski. He wants to regain the featherweight title. Chael, why could this be the time that the result has a different outcome for Holloway?
Okay, so I watched that first fight live. If I may personalize it, but I was in the building. It went all 5 rounds. We're waiting for the announcer to get in after he collected the judges' scorecards, and I thought full well he was going to announce and still champion Max Holloway. I thought Max won the fight. Now, the judges sitting ringside not only disagreed with my opinion, it wasn't even close. One judge gave all 5 rounds to Volkanovski, but point being, Volkanovski did not like that so many people had seen what I thought I saw. He didn't like that there was a narrative or that his championship was being questioned. The champion Volkanovski is the one who went to Dana White, said, give me 5 more rounds with this guy. I want to close the book on him once for all. The reason I bring that to you, when does the champion ever want to call out the guy that he just beat? Well, in a case of Volkanovski, when the beating was a little bit unclear, yes, I do believe you could have an upset and Max gets that title back.
Oh, that could be key. All right, I love how you're building this up. You got me fired up, Chael. Appreciate it, man.